The Denver Resurrection, From the Ashes to the Hunt. For a decade, the Denver Broncos lived in a revolving door of broken promises, cycling through double-digit quarterbacks and coaching regimens since Peyton Manning's Super Bowl retirement. But in late 2024, the clock hit zero against the Green Bay Packers, and the era of irrelevance officially ended. The 34-26 scoreboard at Mile High wasn't a fluke. It was a surgical dismantling that punched Denver's first playoff ticket in 9 years. Today, we're breaking down the blueprint, the 3 seismic shifts that saved the franchise, the rookie quarterback who silenced the bust labels, and the defense that currently has the league's elite in a chokehold. Let's dive in. Part 1. The Mile High Mirage, where it started. To appreciate the heights the Broncos have reached, you have to remember the absolute basement they occupied just months ago. Entering the 2024 season, the national perception of Denver was, to put it lightly, bleak. The media narrative was relentless. Critics argued that Sean Payton was a coach whose best innovations were left behind in New Orleans. Bo Nix, the 12th overall pick, was widely labeled a reach, a 24-year-old rookie with a high floor, but a supposedly non-existent ceiling. And to make matters worse, the defense was still haunted by the ghosts of 2023. Specifically that 70-point collapse against the Dolphins, a scar many analysts believed would never fully heal under the current leadership. For the first 2 weeks of the 2024 campaign, the skeptics looked like geniuses. A sloppy Week 1 loss to the Seahawks was followed by a dismissal 13-6 home loss to the Steelers. The offense looked stagnant, and Nix appeared to be seeing ghosts, struggling with the speed of the NFL game. The bust labels were printed before the rookie even had a month of service. At 0-2, sitting at the bottom of the AFC West, the sports world was ready to write Denver off as a team entering a painful 5-year rebuild. The perception was that Denver was stuck in no man's land. They were too talented to tank for a top pick successfully, but too dysfunctional to compete. But inside the walls of the Centura Health Training Center, something was brewing that the national media completely missed. Part 2. The Turning Point, the East Coast Epitome. If you ask the players about the exact moment the season changed, they won't point to a specific touchdown or a game-winning interception. They'll point to a calendar and a flight itinerary. Following the Week 2 loss, Denver faced a grueling back-to-back road trip against Tampa Bay and the New York Jets. Traditionally, teams fly back to Colorado between games. However, Sean Payton made a strategic, old-school decision. The team would stay on the East Coast for the entire week. Left tackle Garrett Bowles recently referred to this as the soul of the season. Removed from the distractions of home and the increasingly toxic local media cycles, the roster was forced to bond. They practiced in the humidity, ate every meal together, and developed an us-against-the-world mentality. The results were immediate. In Tampa, against a high-flying Buccaneers team, Bo Nix finally found his rhythm, leading Denver to a dominant 26-7 victory. The following week, in a torrential downpour at MetLife Stadium, the Mud Bowl, the Broncos defense announced itself to the world. They suffocated Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in a 10-9 defensive masterclass. They left Colorado 0-2, looking like a team without an identity. They returned 2-2. Having discovered a new, physical brand of football. The soft Broncos were dead. The Orange Crush 2.0 had been born in the mud of New Jersey. The most significant shift in the Broncos' fortunes is also the most visible, the rapid, record-breaking development of Bo Nix. The pre-draft knock on Nix was that he was a check-down merchant who lacked the arm talent to drive the ball downfield. The 2024 tape has rendered those criticisms obsolete. Nix didn't just play well for a rookie, he turned in one of the most efficient debut seasons in modern NFL history. According to league tracking data, Nix became only the second rookie quarterback ever to win 10 games, account for 4,000 total yards, and score over 30 total touchdowns. But the stat that has defensive coordinators losing sleep is his avoidance rate. Nix recorded one of the lowest sack, fumble, or interception rates for a rookie in the last several decades at 5.7%. Sean Payton stopped trying to protect Nix with conservative play calling and started letting him hunt. We saw the playbook fully expand in Week 11 against the Falcons, where Nix became the first rookie ever to complete over 80% of his passes while throwing for 300 yards and 4 scores. He isn't just a game manager. He is a processor who uses his legs to extend plays and his veteran-like poise to pick apart complex coverages. While Nick stabilized the offense, defensive coordinator Vance Joseph went from the hot seat to a top-tier head coaching candidate by embracing one philosophy: total aggression. The Broncos' defense transformed into a unit that refuses to let quarterbacks breathe. They finished the 2024 regular season ranked in the top 4 in sacks, 63, and pressure percentage, 40%. They aren't just sitting back in bend but don't break zones. They are dictating the terms of engagement through relentless blitz packages. This aggression is anchored by the best secondary in football, led by Patrick Surtain II. Surtain's 2024 campaign was statistically legendary, ranking first in fewest yards allowed per coverage snap. He held elite receivers like Jamar Chase and Travis Kelce to a combined passer rating of just 8.3 when targeted. When you have a delete button like Surtain on one side, it allows Vance Joseph to send the house from everywhere else without fear of getting burned deep. Part 5. Change number 3. The identity of the trenches. The third change is one that rarely makes the top 10 highlight reels, but is perhaps the most vital: the reconstruction of the offensive line. Now, while the world was focused on the quarterback battle, Denver quietly built one of the league's most cohesive front fives. Garrett Bowles turned into a career year, providing elite blindside protection, while Quinn Meinerz established himself as a first-team All-Pro mauler at right guard. This unit's stability allowed Sean Payton to lean into a heavy run game and play-action scheme that kept Knicks upright. In an era where offensive line play across the NFL is at an all-time low, Denver's ability to win the line of scrimmage in the fourth quarter became its secret weapon. This was never more evident than during the late-season winning streak, where they consistently bullied opponents to close out games. Part 6. The underrated catalyst, John Franklin Myers. Every great team has a glue guy, and for the 2024 Broncos, that man is John Franklin Myers. When Denver traded for JFM in the offseason, many viewed it as a minor depth move. Instead, he became the engine of the defensive line. While players like Nick Bonito get the flashy sack numbers, Franklin Myers is the one doing the heavy lifting. He is a high-motor defender who ranks in the top tier of pass block win rate for interior defenders. His versatility, playing both the 3-tech and the edge, is what allows Vance Joseph's blitz packages to remain so unpredictable. He is a primary reason why the Broncos' run defense vaulted from the bottom of the league in 2023 to a top 10 unit in 2024. Part 7. Playoff outlook. A real threat? What does this all mean for January? The Broncos aren't just a happy-to-be-here story. They entered the postseason as a legitimate threat to the AFC hierarchy. Why? Because they are built for the specific rigors of playoff football. They have a top-tier defense that travels well and doesn't rely on perfect weather. They have a special teams unit, led by Will Lutz and Pro Bowl returner Marvin Mims, that ranks among the league leaders in efficiency. And most importantly, they have a quarterback who protects the football. In a potential matchup against heavyweights like the Ravens or the Bills, Denver presents a unique challenge. They have the physicality to match Baltimore's run game and the secondary personnel to bracket elite targets like Josh Allen's primary options. The only lingering question is the rookie factor. Can Bo Nix maintain this poise when the stakes are at their highest? If his surgical performance against Green Bay was any indication, the stage isn't too big for him. Conclusion: the new Denver. The Denver Broncos have spent a decade in the wilderness. They've been the butt of the jokes and the primary example of how not to build a post-legend roster. But the culture has shifted. There is a newfound discipline in Dove Valley, a defense that punishes mistakes, and a young quarterback who finally looks like the franchise cornerstone they've been searching for since 2016. They didn't just flip a switch. They rebuilt their identity through strategic coaching, aggressive defensive schemes, and a rookie class that played like 10-year veterans. So the Broncos are in, they're dangerous, and they're coming for the crown. But the real test starts now. Can Bo Nix and this defense actually trade blows with heavyweights like Mahomes, Allen, or Lamar when the lights are brightest? Or is this mirage season destined to hit a wall in the wildcard round? Let us know in the comments if you think Denver is a legitimate AFC threat. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dive NFL analysis. The hunt is on.